a change. My name is Katharina Schuster. I'm your host, and this is my podcast, Make a Change. In this podcast, we're discussing nutrition, we're discussing mindset, we're discussing training, and all things around health, fitness, and wellness. So I am an accredited sports nutritionist. I've got over 12 years experience. I've been working with clients ever since, helping them to move through bad eating behaviors, habits, helping them to improve their eating behaviors, helping them to lose fat and build muscle. And one very big thing I teach all of my clients is the science behind it. Really, my big goal is really to educate them and really helping them to understand what's going on in the body, especially like these days. The majority of my female clients are in the state of perimenopause, so we just need to understand what's going on in our body and how we can adjust our nutrition to not gain excess body fat and to really just minimize these symptoms. Same goes for men. Obviously, as a man, you do not struggle with perimenopause and all these kind of things. But you also, like, I do have male clients. I work with men and with women, and also my male clients. They do complain about joints, strength, especially when getting older, and the onset of body fat, especially around the belly, where we really diving deep into the nutrition, deep in what's going on in their life, and really trying to combine this their lifestyle, their responsibilities, because of course in the age of 30s, 40s, you're in the middle of your life. You do have a lot of responsibilities. It's not like where you were 20 and had all the time in your life. At least this was the case in my life. When I was 20, well, I was working full-time. I actually was working in hospitality back then. So I actually was working 16 hours a day. But yeah, apart from that, not really a lot of responsibilities. But of course, these days I'm running a business. I have a lot of clients and therefore a lot of responsibilities towards the clients and outside the clients in terms of business, obviously, and like everything else that you're dealing with when you are an adult. Today, I would like to talk to you about limiting beliefs. So I talk to anywhere between 3 and 10 people a week in a consultation, like inviting them into a Zoom call, or I don't really do it on the phone. I did it on the phone, but it's not really what I prefer. So usually on a Zoom call, and they have applied for coaching and or just being interested in coaching. There's like a little bit of a difference sometimes, and some of them say yes, some of them say no, and that's absolutely legit. It's absolutely fine. I obviously can't help everyone there the much I would love to, but when they say no, there are different reasons. One of the reasons is we're just finding out that what I do is really maybe not in line with them, with what I want to do. Maybe it's just like an interpersonal thing that we're just not really a fit. And when you work in a relationship between clients and coach, obviously the relationship needs to work because you're exchanging often very private information. And obviously you need to feel comfortable with that person. And of course, relationship is built up. But this initial contact, this is really where we start the rapport building, where we're starting the connection and like getting a feel for each other. I think the first 10 minutes, to be honest, this is already the time when we actually find out if we are fit or not. So this is one point when we don't come to an agreement, which this is a reason that barely happens, to be very honest with you. Often when there is a no, it is actually down to limiting self-beliefs. So, and I don't mean that in a bad way. So limiting self-beliefs, what is that actually? So often it is about you maybe had an experience in the past and you did not quite follow through. Sorry, I do need some water and I didn't bring any water with me. So I'm just walking with you to my kitchen. So when we do have limiting beliefs, we do usually have lost the trust in ourselves due to a number of reasons. So as I said, most of my clients, they're at my age, they're in their 30s, they're in their 40s. Obviously, they possibly have tried to change their body in the past, losing some body fat, building some muscle, whatever it is. And they maybe have not achieved what they wanted to, or they started something and they didn't follow through. So the main reason why someone is not reaching their goal comes down to not following through. Most of the people starting, most of the people get this initial motivation, that momentum, that like they have the willpower, they're showing discipline. That's not the issue. Like really, it's all about not following through. And why we're not following through? Because sometimes it gets hard. Often the main reason, what I often hear is, I'm busy. I got a lot of shit going on in my life. And that's, yeah, you do. I do. But this is where a coach actually can bring in a lot of value. So what I usually do, I currently have actually a client. Her name is Liz Mary. And she really struggled following through with the program, because she's a mother, she's actually a single mom, and she's working 2 jobs. And it doesn't really leave her a lot of time for meal prep and training. But she said that she really is at a point where she does want to make a change. She really wants to change her body, because she's actually my age. I said, if I don't start now, then when do I start? And I said, yeah, exactly. You say it yourself. So she is committed to a degree, but her time restriction is really what's stopping her. And so she keeps, we already had so many conversations, and I actually asked her then to give me her schedule. So she was very hesitant in that. Of course, it's her private. I said, so you don't need to show me like this is your business. It's none of my business. But just tell me, what are your working hours? How is your day looking like from the moment you wake up to the moment where you go to bed? And then we put it all together. And we actually did find a few loops where we said, okay, on this day and on this day at this and this time, this is where we go to the gym. So put this into your Google Calendar and treat it as a very important appointment. On Sunday, you got a day off. On Sunday, you're doing your meal prep. And like what I always say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Okay, and this is something really important for you to understand, especially if you're busy. So we have implemented a strategy. So this week, this has actually just happened. And so we just see how she goes the following week. So today when I'm filming this, it is a Saturday. So we talked about this literally a few days ago. So we're just seeing how she's going and what she's reporting next week. And yeah, and then we take it on from there. And yeah, the following through is like often is like I don't have time. So of course, look, we all have 24 hours. Do we have the same 24 hours? No, we don't. But we can implement different strategies to make it work. So when I have these women or men sitting in front of me on a Zoom call, that it's like when they have these limiting beliefs, like when they're having in their mind, I got so much going on, it's too hectic, I can't do it. It's usually that they don't believe that they can follow through. So then the next point, usually then I get the excuses of I can't afford, or I need to think about it. So, and when I do get these objections, I usually really go deeper and trying to figure out what is really going on. Because if you say I need to think about it, and you're turning off the Zoom, like in the next few days, what your brain is doing, your brain is starting deleting. And then you will find every single way to talk yourself out of it. And then you will possibly never start. Or another person said, oh no, I can't afford it. And I usually go then, oh, what do you mean you can't afford it? Of course, I'm not ripping anyone off if they have just enough money to have a roof over their head and to buy food. Of course not. But most people, they spend money on what they do prioritize. So if someone says, no, I can't afford it, then doing something for their health is not a priority. And then I usually don't ask the question, so it's not a priority, because that would piss you off. And that is also not a very smart question for me to ask. So at the beginning, when I had my very first consultations, because I didn't just know how to ask questions and I didn't understand the psychology of people, I did ask this question and I said, yeah, it is a priority, but I just need to think about it. It's just like in this moment, they're defending themselves. I would defend myself. And then they're getting at distance to me because they need to protect themselves. So what I'm trying to get onto is our brain is programmed of say no, because we as human being, firstly, we have a pre-programmed word. That word is no. It is to protect ourselves. The second one that we have is our brain is wired usually towards pleasure and away from pain. So if changing ourselves, meaning starting a fitness program, going to the gym, starting meal prepping, changing our behaviors around food, if that sounds painful to us or thinks, no, I can't do this change because I'm not ready and this is just too painful to make a change now because in our head, oh, I'm busy, then you won't change. So you will change when you are at a point when staying the same, staying exactly the way how you are right now, it is painful. When you're really looking in the mirror, I'm fat, I'm disgusting. If I'm staying this way, I'm getting diseases. I will not be strong enough to carry my shopping bags home when I'm getting older. I'm maybe not able to keep up with my children, my clothes don't fit, shopping is not fun. Like when this state of yours is so painful, that is more painful than making finally this change of changing your nutrition, training, maybe eventually getting a coach to actually help you understand what you have to do to make a change, then you will do it, because the pain of staying the same will be so painful that you will make a change, making a change will be like pleasure for yourself. And sometimes we need to hit rock bottom to actually realize, okay, I really need to make a change now. I don't know what I'm doing, so I need help. But this can maybe take a very long time. And when I have a person sitting with me in a consultation, and that person is at this state where change is painful, I will not be able to have this person as a client, because it's just not, the client is not ready. Change is painful. Our brain associates the pain with change, so we're not gonna change. And then we're coming up with, I can't afford it, or I need to think about it. Both things, I can't afford and I need to think about, are complete bullshit. And the truth is what I just told you. So now I want to ask you, did you have this situation in your life that you maybe had a consultation with a coach and you said, no, I didn't have time, or I can't afford it, or not now, maybe later? Do you believe that the true reason behind these excuses were actually that you didn't trust yourself? That comes later. That you're just not ready to make the change because where you are, you're still feeling comfortable. That would be one point. Then the next point, what I wanted to say, is the trust in yourself. So you maybe have started several programs, like downloaded online programs, maybe downloaded apps, followed the app constructions. I mean, there are million things out there. Like apps you can download that give you often some calculation of your macros. They have some random workout programs for you. You can look for online programs that cost you maybe a few dollars, but if you buy cheap, you get cheap. And I'm not saying those things are not working. It is just that you did not follow through. And then when you get that, let's say a year later, you're sitting in that consultation with a coach, and then it's about committing to it and saying yes, and then you're pulling back because your brain suddenly remembers, oh no, well, I did actually start this like last year and it didn't work for me. And it didn't work because you didn't follow through, not because the program didn't work. So, and this is what your brain remembers. So it associates starting something, breaking up, not working. Okay, I don't do it. It's too dangerous. It's because I don't follow through anyways, it's a waste of money. And if you don't follow through, yes, it would be a fucking waste of money. And the next point is like believing that you maybe can follow through, that maybe with the right accountability, with the right strategy, structure, a program that is not just a random app or a random online program, a training program that has been actually created specifically for you, for your body structure, as well as for your goals. Like when I have a client who is starting new out with me, I'm always asking for a movement analysis. So we're just asking you to perform a squat for me, a deadlift, a bench press, a bend over row, maybe a biceps curl or a triceps extension. And this movement analysis, so I just want to see how you move, hence the name. And based on what I see there, I can then create a workout program that is based for your body structure. And then also, let's say you want to grow your glutes as a woman or your chest as a man. I can then coordinate the workout program that we are prioritizing these areas. The next point would be nutrition. Like if you just have a random meal plan with foods you actually don't like, and maybe with calories that are not right set up for you, then you won't follow through. Again, here with my clients, I calculate the macros based on your body stats, and also really ask you for a food diary, so that when I create a meal plan or we're doing flexible macros, which I actually prefer for you, because it actually teaches you, not just tells you. But if there is a meal plan that we are doing, so I can actually create foods for you that you truly like. And we can coordinate a meal plan that it's in line with your macros, with the foods you like, and to achieve your goals. This is basically what we do then. And if you are ready for this, it can be something really, really beautiful, because I truly want that my clients, when they finish up with me, that they truly never ever need a coach again, because I'm trying to get as much knowledge from my head into your head that you really can make informed decisions based on your situation. And this is then when you then going through a program, this will build up the trust in yourself again. And I usually always say, if at this point, if you do not believe in yourself, borrow my belief, because I believe in you, until you believe in yourself that you can do it. And look, you probably have heard this before. The millionaire's mindset comes first before you become a millionaire. It's the same in the health and fitness. I had a client once, she was so anxious about going to the gym. You're not gonna lose this gym anxiety from not going to the gym. So Hazard, you really have to go in there, at least for 5 minutes. This is actually what we do. I want you to go to the gym for 5 minutes, and then we just increase these numbers or these minutes in the gym until she actually was able to perform a workout in the gym by herself, a whole workout. And this was the only way how she was able to get over her gym anxiety. And this also, when you start following through a workout program, a nutrition profile, and really like every day you're following through and being consistent, and then you start seeing results in the mirror. And this is then where you start building up the trust in yourself again, and start believing, hey, fuck, I can really do this. So yeah, and this is my little psychology session. Look guys, this is pretty much everything I wanted to talk about in this episode with you. If this is something that resonates with you, then please contact me, let's have a chat. If you are looking for a coach and haven't really found the right one yet, then just comment here, maybe ask your question here in the comments, or hop over to my Instagram. My Instagram is Katharina Schuster Coaching. I put it in there, and just send me a DM. I'm not pressuring you into anything. Like, we can have like a 15 to 30 minute free call where we just go over your goals, what the best way is to achieve your goal, and then finding out if we are fit. If not, no hard feelings, but sometimes you just need to have like a game plan on how your plan could look like to get this idea in your head, to get a little bit of a forecast on how this all look like, to take a little bit this fear away from you, that fear, that limiting belief that is sitting inside of you. And yeah, apart from that, on my Instagram, I'm sharing daily nutrition, training, mindset. So just hop over, watch my content. And if you like it, then amazing. I hope you can take something away from it. And yeah, this brings me to the end. My name is Katharina Schuster. I'm your host of this podcast. And make a change, and I see you in the next one.